how has that road gone with you transitioning from military to the civilian life now? So
Well, it was hard. It was
was
not
it?
easy. I served in the military for 5 years, and I experienced a lot of things, a lot of traumas. It wasn't just, I mean, I didn't get to go to like Afghanistan or Iraq, but we were in combat zones because we were post 9/11.
Right.
So we were constantly doing, a lot of like battle stations, kind of prepping us
War
in
games.
case. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so there was always, I think, that anxiety of like, we didn't know. And then there was one time that there was a submarine, a Russian submarine. We all went into like our battle stations, and it was just that fear. Like, and I was so young. I had just turned 17 when I graduated. So as soon as I graduated, I joined the military. So I was still a kid, I was
Yeah.
still a
Right.
child.
Right.
And so it was very difficult. But the thing is, ever since I was really little, I always leaned on God. Like I had to. My mom, it was a single mom. She was working. I experienced a lot of trauma as a child too. From when I was like 6, and so I had to learn how to lean on God. And that was who I would talk to. That he was the only one I would talk to. My mom was always working. And so that's something that I kind of learned how to do from a very young age.
Right.
So going into the military, after I went through, a lot of trauma, and there was a lot of like sexual abuse. There was death. Like we were one of the first ships that did the humanitarian effort when the tsunami hit over in Indonesia. And so as we were like trying our best to get there as quickly as possible, we did see like dead bodies floating around, or we would have to like pick them up and bring them to the shores so for proper burial and stuff. So seeing all of that, like at that moment, I didn't think it impacted me at all. Like I was just like, I'm just trying to help, but after a while it does
Right.
affect your mental
Yeah.
health a lot. And so it was very difficult, but I never drifted away from my walk with Christ or my relationship with Christ, because for me that was my hope. That was my only hope.
Right.
And so after getting even like in the military, even when I was little, my mom didn't ever talk to us about mental health. We didn't grow up knowing anything like that. So we didn't know. I didn't know what I was going through. I didn't know that I had experienced trauma. I didn't know that I had PTSD. And so I just leaned on God, like, God, just help me, or God, and after the military, I started getting into substance abuse, because I needed to numb whatever I was feeling, all these
Right.
emotions. I didn't want to think about it. And that was the the only way. I didn't get out of the military until I was like 22. So I was away from my mom, my brother, all of them. And so it was a big struggle, because in the military, that's what they teach you. Like, don't talk about it. Just, we're going to hit port, just have a drink here or there. And that's how you deal with it in the military. So getting out of the military, they don't help you. They're just like, okay, you know what? You're not fit for the military anymore. We're going to go ahead and just separate you. And so I didn't know anything about mental health until, I want to say, 2 years after the military. But by then I had already picked up this habit, and it was very difficult. I didn't know what depression was. I didn't know what anxiety was. I didn't know what PTSD was. So I had all of this turmoil in me, in my mind, and in my spirit. But I was still leaning on God. That I know He's not going to leave me, and
Right.
I would always like lean on Him and His Word to always get me through it. And it was very hard. And even being in the worship team, there's a lot of spiritual warfare.
Yes.
And man, like it's very difficult, because a lot of people want you to portray this perfect person that, you know, you have it all together. Your walk with God is just perfect. And when I go up there on my authentic self, I'm not going to pretend that I'm somebody that I'm not, because, you know, I want God to glorify himself and what he has done in my life. And through my testimony, you know, other people can say, well, you know what, like, I'm in that spot right now, but I see that there is hope, and that they can be encouraged to, you know, that to know that, like, that's not it, that the work that God has started in you is not finished until the day that Jesus Christ comes.
Amen.
And so that's one of the words, you know, Paul talks about it in Romans 8:28, and it's something that I hold on to a lot. You know, in the military, I struggled a lot with how to deal with it, because it was not a quality of life that I expected to have, you know, just going through really bad depression, really bad anxiety. I've, you know, attempted suicide several times, and I kid you not, like, the attempts that I tried, I should have died. There's no way I should have lived through some of those situations, but somehow, you know, God always came through, and the enemy tried to take my life, and God was like, no,
it's not your time.
you can't touch her life. Yeah. Like, I have a purpose for her.
Yes.
And, I would tell, you know, I would talk to my brother, and I would tell him, like, hey, you know, like, whatever it is that I'm going through, I know that there's a reason why I'm going through it, and God has a purpose, and God has a plan. And as long as, you know, he gets the glory from it, then I know that I'm doing my purpose. And sometimes it's not how we expect it to be. You know, I love God, and my relationship with Christ is strong, and I have a passion and a fire for God. And sometimes I question, like, why?
Yeah.
Why am I going through this? Why am I not living like this person that, you know, that they are,
seems to have it all together?
yeah, exactly. You know, and why is my life so difficult? You know, why can I not overcome this area in my life, or why do I keep messing up? But what I've learned is that, again, like what Paul says, that God not only is going to finish his work, but everything that he works in our life is for our good. Anything that the enemy tries to destroy, he's going to fix. And so it's a big encouragement, and it's a big hope, because I know that I'm a work in progress. You know, I'm not
under construction.
Yes, I'm a broken person, but my faith and my love for God is just very strong.